What's up guys, D-Life HD and Double O here. Join us as we discuss topics such as the offseason, what we did, what our teams did, to kneel or not to kneel, and as we recap the Cowboys and Eagles games for Week 1, Week 2, and Week 3. Final whistle, let's go!
Yeah. And from the 242 smile.
First of all, how was your offseason, aka your vacation?
Well, I mean, my off season was pretty good. I spent most of the time doing my day job.
Yeah, that's what we do. All we do is work, right?
That's all we do is work. But it was an interesting off season. Just took time to relax, stay up with the family, and of course, I do my other job. But it was a very interesting off season for the Philadelphia Eagles. They made a lot of acquisitions that hopefully should bear some fruit this season. So I'm so pumped up for this season, and I can't just wait to see how it unfolds as the week goes by. How was yours?
Thanks, my friend. It'll be awesome. Mine was good. Worked a lot as always. Had to escape Hurricane Irma, and we took that time off to visit family in Louisiana. So we got to visit New Orleans and Baton Rouge. That video will actually be up on my channel very soon, so look out for it. You guys will enjoy it. Baton Rouge was just an average place, but we loved New Orleans a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
So, the other thing I want to talk about is, so we were playing football with the kids at the beach, you remember?
Oh, yes.
And so part of our off season was that he got to break my ankles a little bit, but what wasn't on tape is that I actually got to get Shu on the play prior to that. I don't know if you actually remember that. I mean, we don't have actual video evidence of it, but we do have actual video evidence of him breaking my ankles. If you want to look at it, I'm going to show it right now. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Not to mention, I was a little heavier than I am now, and I'm going to blame it on the weight.
But it was good. It was good to take time and just have a good time throwing the ball and just play around and just chill and wait for this season. So that was good.
Indeed.
I'm glad I got you there. So that's good.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That shake was pretty good. Let's talk about the Cowboys offseason. We lost Romo, which I kind of knew was gonna happen. What I didn't think would happen was that he would outright betray us and prevent us from getting anything valuable in return. But I guess that's what happens when you retire. Flipping Romo. What do you think about that?
I think he had a good season with the Cowboys. He was left with very little choices actually, because I think there was talk of him going
to Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, the Browns.
Oh, the Browns, yes, and the Houston
Texans.
Houston Texans also. So, I think at the end of the day, the deal just didn't work out, and he decided to retire. I won't be surprised if he come back out of retirement.
It could happen, honestly.
Yeah, you see what Jay Cutler just did. He came out of retirement to play for the Dolphins. So I won't be surprised to see the last of Romo in the football field.
That's true. Then we have the incident with Ezekiel Elliott where he was supposedly charged with a domestic violence suit. I don't know the whole case, but apparently there was no real evidence, or the girl said that nothing happened. I don't know. Either way, Ezekiel Elliott was supposed to be serving a 6-game suspension, but because of the injunction that Elliott asked for, he's able to play while the court makes a decision. The only problem is I do not want them to bring it back and be like, oh, you can't play in the middle of the season when your team actually wants you and when your team actually needs you. I do not want that to happen. That would be jacked up.
Yeah. I think the NFL has been very strong on domestic abuse, even the sound of it. So, I mean, I won't say Ezekiel Elliott is guilty or anything. I will let the due process take its course. But, good luck to Ezekiel Elliott and, whatever come out of it. Just all the best to each parties. But one thing that I like is that the NFL has put their feet down to make sure that domestic abuse is not part of the game, because it was an issue. It has been an issue for a while, and them curtailing that is a good thing. It's a good thing, and it doesn't really necessarily mean that Ezekiel Elliott is guilty of this charge, but just the fact that they're taking steps towards punishing or at least putting some limitation to any kind or sound of domestic abuse is a good thing. So
all I'm saying is, as long as he plays, I'm happy. Now let's talk about to kneel or not to kneel. That is indeed the question everyone's talking about. My opinion is there are freedoms in this country that allow us to make these type of decisions. So I see nothing wrong with the players going with their conscience and deciding to kneel. Would it have been better at another time other than the national anthem? Probably. I liked how the Cowboys and the Cardinals did it. They took their knee and then stood up for the national anthem. I thought that was a good compromise. I think ultimately it's up to the NFL as the employer to say whether that kind of thing is finable or not. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think this topic has been discussed ad nauseum, and both sides have they have their strong opinion based on
definitely
their feelings. It's a very emotional feeling on both ends, and for me, I feel both ends, and I think being the free country that it is, everyone have the right to be heard and express themselves, and as long as you stay orderly, orderly. So, I mean, I won't say much about it, but I just hope that they don't take focus out of what started the protest in the first place.
True.
As long as there's a national dialogue on what the players were trying to bring at the forefront of the society, I think as long as it's achieved, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, enough of that stuff. Let's talk about the actual games. First off, you want to begin with the Eagles?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So the Eagles. So okay. So I mean, I just want to start off with the off season.
Right.
So a couple cards were changed. Were played. We got
some wide receivers.
We got some wide receivers. As you remember, last year one of the biggest challenges that the Eagles had was lack of very versatile wide receivers. So in the offseason, we were able to get Alshon Jeffrey from the Chicago Bears. We got Torrey Smith from the Baltimore Ravens. I wasn't so happy with the losing Jordan Matthews to the Bills, but I guess that is the trade-off that they had to make. So they added a little pieces there, and so far it has proved to work out good for the Eagles.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we're 2-1 now. We beat the Redskins 30-17 in the first week, which was good. I thought the Eagles did very well. They were very dominant. They dominated the game from the very beginning. So that was very good. And Carson Wentz, man. Carson Wentz just continues to prove to the Eagle Nation that he is what they thought they were getting when they traded to pick him at number 2 in the draft pick of 2 years ago. So that was good. Second week was not so good. We lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Eagles still had they had that game within reach. It's just that I think Kansas City was a better team. And of course Kansas City coach. Andy Reid used to be the Philadelphia Eagles coach. So that was an interesting match. I wish the Eagles won that match, but unfortunately, they lost it. Last week's game was very, very good.
Yeah, I actually watched the part of that.
Yeah, so, the Eagles were playing the Giants, and the Eagles and the Giants have had a rivalry that goes back, way back. I don't even know when.
That's like actually the Cowboys and the Giants. And
Exactly.
The Giants and the Redskins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Eagles had that game actually very well managed from the very beginning. They led the Giants all the way to the fourth quarter. The Giants came back and tied the Eagles. They scored all their 24 points in the fourth quarter, which kind of to me didn't speak so good about the Eagles, is that they kind of let their foot off the pedal very sooner instead of finishing the game strong. And we had a little bit of that problem last season, and I hope that it doesn't carry over to this season, because for the Giants to pretty much outscore the Eagles 24 to 13, I guess, in the fourth quarter, that wasn't very good. But what kind of made the difference was the 61-yard field goal attempt by Jake Elliott, man. That guy, man. I can't tell you how exciting it was very good to see that. So it was a good game. I think the Eagles are on the right track. They just need to continue with the momentum. Unfortunately, we lost Darryl Sproles out for the season with an injury, but I hope with bringing of LeGarrette Blount and Wendell Smallwood and a few pieces that they still do have, I hope that they can still put the running back and the kick return in place. So, a good start for the Eagles, and I can't wait to see how they play as the season goes. Yeah. So this week we're playing the Chargers, and see, the problem is the Chargers are 0-3.
Oh.
They have lost all their 3 games.
And you definitely have a win, I'm hoping.
I hope we have a win, but the Chargers are coming. They have to make a statement. They have to try to get at least their first win. So it's going to be a very good, very nice matchup, and I look forward to it. So how are the Cowboys games?
Well, I want to say right off the bat that I could not wait for the season to start, and I knew that without Beckham playing for the Giants that game, that we would have a much easier game on our hands. And I expected to win, and we did. 19-3, baby. The Giants hit that struggle bus. For them to only score 3 points the whole game, you had to know something was wrong. Eli Manning went 29 for 38 with 220 yards, which honestly isn't bad at all. He honestly had a better completion rate than Dak, but Dak managed to get more yards from his completions at 268 total yards. I was happy to see Elliott get over 100 yards rushing, and Witten, Old Faithful, scored the only receiving touchdown. Then the next game was versus the Broncos. And I was like, how are you going to lose to anyone? And you choose to lose to the Broncos. I mean, what the heck is up with that? Our offense was horrible. Our defense was terrible. Dak Prescott went 30 for 50. 30 for 50? Are you kidding me? That's horrible. To top it off, Ezekiel Elliott had a total of 8 yards. 8 yards? I guess we all deserve to have an off game, but that's just terrible. Yeah, that whole entire match was frustrating as heck. The next game was actually the Cowboys and the Cardinals, which was this past week. I'm not going to lie, this game was much closer than I wanted it to be. I was on pins and needles through the most of it, but the boys came back to good form. Plays of the game, I have 2. Dak Prescott, I love his mobility. I love that he jumped right into the end zone with no fear. Also, the catch and utter determination by Dez Bryant to get into the end zone when 5 defenders were on him. I thought that was amazing. Play of the game, Bryce Butler's awesome catch in the end zone after the bomb by Prescott. What an amazing catch. Give that boy a new contract ASAP. So yeah, we ended up winning that match. So we're now 2-1. We're tied with you guys.
And
You're
the
also
Redskins.
2-1, and the Redskins. So our whole entire division is pretty horrible. No, just kidding. Our whole entire division is actually really good.
Yeah.
Up next, we played the LA Rams. They're a brand new team from last year. I'm pretty sure we'll probably beat them by at least 3 touchdowns.
You gotta be careful though, because they're very hot right now.
Yeah,
They're playing
that's
amazing.
true.
They're playing amazing game, and good luck on that. I'll be watching, and
either way, I think we'll easily win. Got any closing thoughts? Oliver?
hey, it's a brand new season.
Yeah.
Everyone still has a chance to make it, and I'll be rooting for my Philadelphia Eagles, and good luck to the Cowboys, and let's have a good season. All right, and until then, see you again next week.
Yep. See you next week. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if you like our show at all. If not, well, we're gonna keep on doing it anyway. So
Hey, we did this for fun. Right?
We're just doing it for fun. We like talking about football. So there was one more thing. Oh yeah. Chances are we're only gonna do this every 2 weeks. We both live a pretty hectic life, so I think that's probably what we're gonna do.
Yep.
And that way we kind of like have more to talk about.
Yeah.
So
And we give you more time to watch the games.
yeah, exactly. Without us having to bother you. So, anyways, like it, comment, share it. We love ya. Peace.
Somebody say I can't make it in life, then I tell them you lying. And even when the hope disappear, I gotta pray and you gotta keep trying, keep trying.